Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 minutes, more or less ship review, right behind me, the Drake Ironclad Assault. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, welcome back to another review. Thank you, What124, Cypher1, WinRAR42, Proxy Fox, Make 'em Salty, and Zero Grab for joining me on today's review of the Drake Ironclad Assault. I have to be honest with every single one of you, this ship is broken. Broken, and not in a good way. It is hardly even usable. During this review, multiple times, actually, just jumping from Crusader to Daymar, the command module undocked itself twice. And then jumping from Daymar to Yela, the command module undocked itself twice. Now, that doesn't sound too frustrating. Well, actually, it's very frustrating. It doesn't sound too terrible of a problem, but it really is, and it's a very frustrating experience. When you're trying to fly around and actually do something, you can barely even leave a small little area of where you are, because the second you cross a server boundary, the ship just tends to break. Now, on top of that, on one of the disconnects, the very final one before we decided to do this interior review in the hangar, the command module, dislodged itself and then was ejected 66 million miles away from the actual body of the ship and wouldn't let me quantum back because it was stuck in the docking procedure. So with that, it just ended up being in the hangar for the rest of this review. Now, on top of those bugs, making it pretty much unplayable at this point, which is seriously too bad because it's probably one of the best detailed, if not the most gorgeous ship in Star Citizen at this time. If you get in the pilot seat and you got gunners, it takes away your radar, it takes away your pips, it takes away everything. Once again, it's another bug just like the Tiburon, that you have the issue of radars disappearing and everything kind of malfunctioning the second you have any sort of occupancy in those turrets, which is not good at all. Let's go ahead and talk about this ship though, because I'm going to be honest right here, even though it's broken to all hell, this ship is going to be phenomenal sooner or later. So you're going to get an accurate score based on what the ship is and what it's supposed to be without the bugs, and then you'll see that, well, it's just unplayable, it's unusable. So this is what the score will be when it is playable. This ship is $575 war bond if you were to go ahead and buy it with real cash, or is $650 store credit if you were to go ahead and get it with just your store credit. Now, there is no option to buy this in game at this time. Probably a few months away from now or a few patches, you might have the option then. It does have an 18-minute claim time or a 6-minute expedited claim time. And with the new insurance system, yes, those times are still accurate, but they do take effect the second you claim it. It's rolling in the background, so you don't have to worry about potentially waiting for that the next time you have to claim it. That's why a lot of these times you'll see it's almost instant because you've already been flying around for a while. Now, it is 9,000 UEC to get that expedited one, which is kind of surprising of this size ship. So yeah, I don't know. That's probably going to change. Now, the pilot doesn't technically have any DPS because when it's attached to the command module, the guns on the command module just don't work. So the pilot has no control over any of the firepower, but the pilot does have 10 size 5 Reaper 5 EM missiles, which is pretty good. The way that they launch is just phenomenal. I love it, and I wish I could have shown you, but the thing was just breaking so much that we couldn't even get to that point. But I'll at least show you the capsules opening up. It's like a modern day sub or a modern day destroyer, the way this thing fires, and I think that's just super sweet. What a cool way to do that on this ship, and I hope to see that on more ships coming about. Now, if you're looking at the other amount of DPS that you do have 19,067 burst turret damage per second due to the 4 size 5 85B ballistic Gatling guns with a round speed of 1,251 meters a second. Now, I gotta tell you, with all these guns on the ship, none of them really do any damage to like a Constellation or anything bigger because their alpha damage is so low that it's hard to damage anything. Without a torpedo strike or a different ship assisting you, it's probably recommended to get these guns off of the ship as soon as possible. You also have 16 size 3 SW16 BR3 Shredder ballistic repeaters at a round speed of 1,480 meters per second. 2 sets of them underneath are a set of 4, so they're quads. Up top, you got a lot more, as you can see all throughout the ship during this review. And then you have 2 Scorpion GT215s with a total round speed of 1,346 meters per second. Those are actually on the interior of the cargo hold. It's pretty much a interior defense, and that's pretty sick. I'll show you that here in just a moment as well. Now, taking a look at the ship, does have a total of 288,000 quadrant shield. It is a quadrant shield, so it, break that into 4s, and there you go. You have your shield face on each side. And then you have a total of 20,790 armor with a 331 deflection physical and a 315 deflection energy. It sounds like a lot, and it kind of is, but right now anybody's running ballistic or laser cannons will just rip right through you. So definitely not something to count on in the current build 4.8. Now, if you're taking a look at the ship's health pool, it does sit at 278,000, which is definitely not terrible. It's a big ship and it can take a hit before it needs to run, but obviously it's not in the realm of like a Perseus or Polaris or anything like that in the health regard, or a lot of those stats. But this is the combat dropship variant, so you'd expect it to be a little bit more beefed up on the armor side, probably closer to like a Star Lancer TAC, which surprisingly a Star Lancer TAC has much more deflection on the physical and energy side than this boat. It's pretty crazy. Now, if you're looking at speed, it does have a total of 130 SCM with a 320 forward boost, a 150 backwards boost, and a top nav speed of 940. It's definitely not quick. It's a slow machine. It's not supposed to be fast. It's supposed to carry a ton of cargo, tanks, big vehicles. It's supposed to get in there and get the job done, right? Without having to worry about getting there fast, I guess. You do have a total pitch yaw roll of 12, 9, 17, which is crazy. That's crazy maneuverability, right? It's unbelievably bad in maneuverability, but that's because all the engines are literally strapped to the back of this ship, so you have a hell of a forward thrust as well as a pretty good vertical thrust. If you're using the VTOL thrusters on there, K on the keyboard to activate those, it's actually quite fantastic. And then you have a boosted pitch yaw roll of 14, 11, 20, definitely okay, I guess. And then you have 60 flares and 30 decoys, and it's pretty much average across the board. And then you have 280 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 10 SCU of quantum fuel, which is honestly phenomenal. I love when ships like this have a ton of fuel, but man, is that going to ride the price up when you have to go and take care of this craft, as it should, because fuel shouldn't be that cheap, especially on a craft this size. It should be something pretty difficult to take care of, maintain over time, right? But then you also have a total of 1,440 SCU on the cargo grid of the Ironclad Assault, which is honestly just phenomenal. What an amazing amount of cargo, and that's because this thing can stack it up so high. And I'm going to show you this ship. We're going to go into the first person now. We're 7 minutes in, and yes, the videos are more or less. So these big ships, it's definitely going to be more than that 10-minute mark, and that's okay. I think you want to see everything I want to show you, and if you don't, I'm going to put timestamps down below so you can kind of skip ahead and skip around. So with that, here is the exterior. You do have 3 ground entrances. You have 2 side entrances, which look like this. You go ahead and walk on up, and you got a nice little ladder here with the side step area, and it looks pretty nice. You go ahead and activate that ladder. You can walk right up and into your boat, and that's on the other side as well. But then if you make your way to the front underneath these quad turrets and your thrusters, you can go ahead and board via the ramp, where this is where you're going to be putting your vehicles through, right? Or if you have an aircraft that you want to land, you'll probably bring it through the roof here, which is currently open. Right now we have a bunch of cargo on the grid, just kind of give you an example of what this thing looks like loaded. But as you can tell, our lighting is poor because this ship, just as many new ones and many old ones, have no good lighting right now. But let me show you. I'm gonna go ahead and stack this box here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this box and see if we can stack it one more. No. So it goes up to 3 on the 32s, or you could really just set it like that and keep the door open, right? Lock that thing open via the engineering terminal. But as you could go, it goes 1, 2, 3 high, and then it goes all the way in, all the way around. You go all the way back. It's pretty cool. a pretty good amount of space back here. And then we'll start at the front, right? So you have these elevators at the front here, one here and one over there. You can go ahead and use the elevator or the ladder to take you up, but you would go ahead and take this to the upper cargo deck, which is one of the world's fastest elevators in the game. And then you would see you have this nice gantry-way here that takes a look at the entire cargo grid, as well as having the ability to open and close that roof. Now, this ability is also all over the bottom of the floor, as well as right there in your nice little command room. So we'll go ahead and close that. Yep, it looks pretty good. The sounds are awesome and everything. It does sound good. Here, take a quick listen. And there you go. This thing is now shut and locked up, and now you have all your cargo and your aircraft and your vehicles nice and taken care of. But first, we'll start at the front of this craft. There is a good, like, 10 fire extinguishers on this thing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It doesn't matter. There's plenty of them, which is quite surprising for a Drake, right? You'd be like, oh, fire extinguishers? We don't need that. So first, you have one of the turrets that's manned. This is a manned top turret at the top. It's got a pretty good view. I'll go ahead and show you that just really quick. This view is the same for both manned turrets at the front. Now, when you're in that turret, it does have a little gate that deploys so nobody can interact with you. And here you go. You have a pretty decent view. You can't really look down at all, so gun depression's a pretty difficult thing. But looking up and around does look pretty good. And surprisingly, this turret isn't broken when looking up, which I always love that. There are a lot of ships right now with broken turrets when you look too far up, so it's always good to see. So you have this one and the one right across, which is the exact same. And then you have two turrets underneath you as well that are the unmanned one that you control from the command room. So we'll go ahead and show you that here in just a second. But first, here at the front, you got another relay here, and then you have jump seats. You have 6 of them. 3 here, 3 over here, and as you can see, these are the ready go lights. The ready go lights are just on right now because the lighting in the game is broken, and underneath each seat is a storage, so you can go ahead and open that up and see that you have no capacity for anything. 750,000 there, 750,000 there, one. So we might have some broken seats as well, because I don't think 0 out of 1 SCU, unless this thing is carrying a massive box of cargo. That's either a wrong number or I'm not too sure. Now we'll make our way through this door really quick to the armory. In the armory, you got even more jump seats. You got 3 here and 3 here. And by ready go light, this is what I mean. You have a button here for the deploy signal. You can go ahead and obviously, if it worked, you'd turn that off and those things would turn off. But then when you are heading to a combat zone, you'd hit that switch when you're ready to go ahead and deploy. Everybody to get out of their seats, run to the elevators and get on down there and have a good old fight. Now you do have a fire extinguisher, as well as multiple areas for storage. Another storage thing here. You go ahead and open that up with 390,000 micro SCU, 2 rifle racks, 2, 4, 6, 8 handguns, which is pretty good. You got 3 specialty weapons here, more of the same on this side. You got the locker, you got the rifles, the handguns, another fire extinguisher. And then if you make your way right on through this door, it's just rinse, wash, repeat. You got 3 more seats here, 3 more seats over here, looking pretty good, as well as your turret access, another relay, and making our way through this door. So we're gonna go ahead and head through this door. We are still on the gantry area above the cargo room, which looks pretty good. This is a very beautiful room when it's lit up properly. Right now, the lighting is so broken that it's hard to get this thing ever lit up properly. So I'm using a flashlight through this whole thing. And yes, you do have these switches all over. Let's do lights off. No, nothing. Nah, doesn't work. And then you have a personal turret. Like I told you, those GT-215s are right here covering the cargo bay. If somebody tries to breach your ship, it ain't gonna happen, right? You're gonna be manning that thing from the station above, which I'll show you here momentarily, and you would take care of business. Now we're gonna make our way through over here. This first door is a door to go to one of your airlocks. This airlock is on top of the ship. So you take this ladder and you would be on top of the ship walking around just like this, as you can see on screen. It's a pretty neat little area. Maybe if you're landed on the ground, you want to make sure everything looks good up top. You'd have somebody patrolling up there, kind of keeping an eye on things around the ship, and it would look pretty good. Now back to it. On this airlock area, you do have 2 rifles as well as 2 handgun slots, looking pretty decent, as well as another storage access point with 1 million micro SCU, which is crazy, honestly, as well as a suit locker here. For when we get the chance to use this, that'll be good to have, and a fire extinguisher. good to have more and more fire extinguishers throughout the ship. So now we're going to make our way through the gantry area here and into the first room, but I feel like I'm betraying us. Let's go back to that cargo deck here really quick, because we aren't done down here. We're not. So we're back on the cargo deck. You have all your cargo situated, but then on the Ironclad Assault, you do have 2 repair pads. And by repair pads, I mean you can take a ground vehicle or an aircraft, and if you have the proper stuff on the cargo grid, you can go ahead and land them here. It says repair bay right there. Repair bay, 1 bay there and 1 bay here. Whatever you land in these areas or drive up to on these areas, you'll go ahead and be able to repair, taking care of your vehicles or rearm or refuel. Anything you need, they will be taken care of on this pad or this pad, which is awesome. I love to see that. And then you have the rear bottom turret with the big old size 585Bs, but the 85Bs, again, lacking that alpha damage to really do any sort of consistent damage to anything big. So if you're fighting only fighters, sure, your weapons will be fine, but it is suggested to get these weapons switched out for something with a little bit more alpha if you plan on attacking anything that has a good armor gate to it. Now you have 2 more vehicle bays here, but these ones are not repair bays, but you can park small vehicles here, making it look pretty decent, as well as a fabricator right here, which is not currently working, but this is where you'll be able to go ahead and craft some things and take care of business when this is working. So making components, weapons, all sorts of things, including bottles of poison. Now you do have 2 more rifles as well as 2 more handguns, another storage access point right here. You have some components, another relay, a battery position. Lights off, huh? Well, it's not working. You have a battery position here and near, or whatever these might be someday, sooner or later. And this is this beautiful looking area. Now you do have 3 jump seats here, another fire extinguisher, and 4 rifle spots right here, which looks pretty good. And this is because right here is one of your side access points from the ground. So yes, you can access this inside the ship, of course, and outside the ship. You go ahead and come over here and take a look. Go, boom, 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 boom. You know, take care of some business if there's anybody approaching your ship. Yeah, that's my gun firing noises. Yes, indeed. Now, we'll go ahead and walk onto the other side because it's the same exact thing. You go over here, you have another component access area, you have another fire extinguisher, and then you have 3 more jump seats as well as more rifle areas and another access point from the ground. So now we are on the first floor. What do you do from here? Right, we're going to go ahead and take a look around. First, you have the elevator, which can take you to all the floors of the ship, including the command module where you would fly the ship. But we're going to go ahead and take the nice little stairs here so we can talk about each floor on the way. Now we're going to make our way up, and another fire extinguisher. Looking good. Now right here you have a nice little step area that you can go ahead and step onto and, you know, take a peek, see what's happening out there. Anybody slacking off? All right, good. And then you walk this way and we're back to where we were at the gantry area. So we'll go ahead and make our way back. You have a nice little ladder that takes you up to the next floor if you wanted to or needed to. And of course, right here is going to be the airlock. You do have an airlock. You do have an airlock on the starboard side of the ship. So you can go ahead and access this airlock here. And it is pretty cool. I just wish the lighting was better so I could show it to you. But you go ahead and open up the exterior, the interior doors, and it looks pretty nice. I mean, this is a really nice looking airlock. It's a really nice looking room with 3 suit lockers here, 3 suit lockers over here, nice little bench seating area. You got multiple weapons points, 2 rifles, multiple handguns, specialty weapons. You got it all in here. It looks fantastic, and I think this is a great little spot if you're ever going to need to be docked to something and you need to grab some guns and get on the move. But as of right now, with docking not really working and this ship doesn't really take advantage of that, you're not going to be doing much. Now, right here is funny because I thought this looked like a spot that you would put a 1/8 SCU container. We attempted to, didn't work, but you can mount a poster here, which is pretty cool. You can mount a poster there on your way to engineering. We'll go ahead and take a look at engineering really quick. Another fire extinguisher with more components all over the walls, one here, there, and over here. You got your shield generator, you got your coolers, and then if you make your way, you got another relay, you have beautiful systems here, nice little computer access points, as well as your main engine system. So this is your main engine that spreads across to all those engines on the back of the ship. This just looks fantastic. What a beautiful looking area. I think this is such a cool looking part of the ship. It honestly just looks phenomenal. I really wish this ship worked. It really did. More components behind you, power systems, all sorts of stuff, jump drives, and of course, your quantum drive. And then you have more power systems. You have your engineering terminal right here looking really nice, really snazzy, you know. You make your way through this door, go ahead and open that up. Make your way back to the main floor, another relay. So this right here is the main floor where we just came from. So we came from right here, this ladder system. So instead of turning left, we're gonna go ahead and turn right, where we just walked through. And we're gonna make our way right on over here. You got some more component areas, including a shield generator that if you were to open this up, you go ahead and be able to take care of this here. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Yes, yes, indeed. Another fire extinguisher. And this is that elevator that would take you to that command module. This elevator is pretty quick too. And I want to show you this elevator, but not quite yet. We're not there just yet. Another gantry-way that leads you to the cargo deck here. Go ahead and take a nice look. It's got a lot of access points on this ship, and I love that. I do. But now we're going to go into operations. So when you walk into operations here, you go ahead and open this up, make your way all the way up the stairs here. Another component here, nice cooler. Now in operations, this is where you're going to be handling a lot of business, right? You have the area which you're going to go ahead and lay down in. You have bed here, a bed here, a bed over here. You have yourself bathrooms over here and there. You have yourself a nice fire extinguisher, as well as more beds on this side. Your table to go ahead and sit down and enjoy a meal, looking pretty nice. And then of course your area to sit down and relax with the crew and look at the ship systems, because nothing better than having to work while working and while taking a break, working more, because work. That's all you want to do, right? Now we're gonna make our way out of this nice little habitation area and onto the, let's see, should we go? Yeah, let's check out the ladder really quick. So this is just that ladder that I showed you on the floor beneath. This would just take you right on up here, looking good. They took a note from Crusader and was like, how many doors can we add to a ship? Ah, yes. Now we're gonna go into operations. This is where you're gonna have control over all your remote turrets, including the one in the cargo bay. So when you go ahead and come up here, you have 4 beautiful seats here, and then this terminal back here will take care of that cargo bay one. So we'll go ahead and access this. Nice little clap of the hands, I love that. And then we'll go ahead and access this. So I can go ahead and just, you know, do some damage if I really wanted to. Nice little gunfire action here and take him out if he was boarding the ship when I didn't want him to, right? Now you do have these seats and everything, which I'm going to show you a nice little feature of this chair. If I was to go ahead and sit into this turret chair, I'm in operations, right? Operations shouldn't just be the control of a gun. It should be also helping the crew with whatever loading's happening. Now, the Ironclad Assault doesn't have any sort of tractor beams on the body like the regular Ironclad. It does on the command module that's attached to the ship over there. So you could technically, with 2 people, disconnect from the body and help with the tractor beam there. But this also has the ability to open the cargo bay. So go ahead and hit that button. It opens the roof right in front of you, helping, you know, load the ship. If there's somebody's trying to fly in, you have this access point from this terminal as well as the chair right on over here. And just look at this. It's a beautiful looking view. What a fantastic looking view here. I honestly wish, until this command module stuff was figured out, that we could just fly from right here. It looks like it could totally do it, and we can just kind of ditch the command module for now, because you have the joysticks, you have the screens, you have everything you need to operate this ship. I really wish we could. This would be really fun, and this is just such a gorgeous room that honestly isn't going to be used enough unless you have a crew here mounting the guns, right? With that, we're going to make our way back out of this room. We'll go ahead and go the way we came, just not to confuse ourselves. So we're here, we're looking at the fire extinguisher, we're excited about the fire extinguisher, and now we're gonna make our way up to the next floor, which is where you have your command module and everything else. So we'll go ahead and make our way through this door here, another fire extinguisher. Now here's that elevator that goes from the bottom to each one of the floors. We'll go ahead and call that, because I want you to see just how beautiful this elevator is when you're on the top floor. So here we are, top floor. Look at that big glass, beautiful looking view here. That is actually such a cool looking elevator. Like, what a cool experience. You don't get this on any other ship, and I do love to see that. So we're here at the command mod. Go ahead and open that back up. Now, before we step out, by the way, this door, when you first open it, and if you try to move forward, it almost like it has an invisible door that needs to open first. So you have to take a couple seconds before you can walk through. Another relay station and your owner's cabin. So you walk right into the owner's cabin. Nothing really going on here, like on this nice little walkway. But once you get in here, you are at the owner's cabin. Go ahead and open up this door, and you can see this big, beautiful room for your owner, for your captain. Oh man, look at the gorgeous view out the window here. And then you have a gorgeous view out the window behind me as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look over here. Now, while in the officer's room, this is pretty cool. You do have the ability to open and close the windows up here, giving you all the privacy in the world just by hitting these buttons. That's just so cool. I can't wait for more functionality like this throughout more ships in the game, because this is just awesome and I love to see it. You have a nice little bench and a nice little bed, which, surprise, surprise, let's go ahead and listen to something really quick. As you can hear that, the commander's bed, the owner's bed, actually has some like rainforest sound going on. So when you're laying there, you can relax and have a great time listening to that and hopefully snoozing off. But also while in here, you have a nice little storage area here. You can go ahead and open that up. You have a total of 1 million micro SCU, which looks pretty good. And then over here, you have a couple cigars. One of them was taken by the crew. I was like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And then you have another one right here. I mean, this technically isn't my ship. My Ironclad Assault broke apart when trying to do the review earlier, and that wasn't so good. And then over here, you have some areas that you can store even more items. But you do also have a weapons rack here, looking pretty good. And you can turn it, too. Look at that. Ain't that just neat? Oh, my goodness. You can just store so many guns right there. And then as I go here, this seat, you can go ahead and use this to activate this. Go ahead and sit down and take a look. You have a nice little area right there for your big, beautiful chessboard. And then look at this camera view. We're going to wait to see when someone's bringing me a 1/8 SCU container right now. They're running out. They're going to go grab that 1/8 SCU container from the cargo floor, and they're going to go ahead and bring it over to me. They're on their way right now with that 1/8. They're running in quick. Here they come. And as you can see on this screen, it is a live view. Oh, they're tractor beaming it. Oh my goodness, this looks threatening. All right, let's take a look here. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put this right over here. We're gonna store it proper. Nothing, nope, okay. No 1/8 there, so that's a no-go, but you can deploy other things there, like your items, like plushies and all sorts of things. And I would assume weapons, but for some reason, the weapon won't stick to the wall. I'll have to try some other items, because that's pretty neat. I like that. Nice little chessboard here. It's just a nice room. It does. It looks really good. It's such a great looking captain's quarters. You even have a little waste disposal. That's pretty nice. Including the bathroom. We'll go ahead and open this up here. The captain gets his own bathroom, looking pretty good. And you can go ahead and take care of business. Sit down on a toilet or take a shower. It just looks fantastic. Now, I gotta tell you, my score is going to not be affected by bugs. My score is going to tell you exactly how the ship is, with what it is, and with the score not relaying the bug portion. But I will tell you, the ship is broken. It's not very usable. There are some people out there going through the pain of trying to use it, but I tell you, it's not worth the pain at the current time. Let's wait, hopefully, until a 0.1 or 2 patch to use this thing. Hopefully, we'll get this thing fixed up as soon as possible, but it is a 93 out of 100 if this ship was operational. You can fit every ground vehicle in the game. You do have the box compatibility for everything in the game, right? You do have gold standard weapons racks. You have a ton of fire extinguishers, engineer terminal. You have everything you need, but we're not even done yet, because remember, you still have the command module. So as you see, 93 out of 100 for just the body and everything else, and that's going to be the score overall. But now let's go ahead and take a last look here at the command mod, the biggest pain in the side of the Ironclad's butt. And here we are in here, and of course the lighting is just a miserable state, and I wish it could be fixed. But this command mod, as you can see, you have the pilot seat, you have the co-pilot seat, and then if you were to make your way back here, you have the area with the engines, and then you go down this nice, oh, before I continue, hold on. You got 10 jump seats, 5 here and 5 here. This is like the abandoning of crew, or a nice little use of 0 and a 1. Look at that. So there might be some bugs with your personal storage here, or it's just not holding much, but this here is going to be where your crew abandons ship, or you're using this as a shuttle for the Ironclad. So let's go down this like nice little ladder here. And over here, you have another fire extinguisher, as well as a light button that don't work. But you have an engineering terminal, more components all over the walls. You have a nice little bathroom here that you can open up. Nice little restroom with a toilet and a shower. It's more spacey than the owner's one, honestly. You have a nice little shelf right here for your kitchen, because this is a nice little food processor. And then over here, you have more just kind of decoration, nice area to sit down. You can put up a poster. You can just go ahead and lay down in the beds. You got more components. You got suit lockers. You got yourself a nice little ladder, and you got yourself the tractor beam that's on the bottom of the command module, which looks pretty decent. Overall, I mean, this ship is a fantastic ship. The command module is pretty awesome. It just is having a very big struggle of not actually working right now, which is not good. You need this thing to work, or the entirety of the ship is just useless. With that, 93 out of 100, and it's broken. So hopefully we'll see a fix as soon as possible. Let me know what you think of the Ironclad Assault down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. You guys are all truly amazing. And of course, I'll see you all in the next one. If you're building a new PC, go through longshipindustries.com, a veteran-owned mom-and-pop business that takes pride in every single build. He built my personal rig, which you can actually see featured on the website. The care, warranty, and customer support are top tier. Trust Longship Industries for your next build.